Hi guys, my name is Zaire, and her name is Nova, and this is my mom. Her name is Kanita, agent/investor. And do you know what I do? To, and do you know what I tell you? I tell you to like and subscribe, so mom can win 200 billion likes and subscribers and comments.
That's all you got to tell the people. Hey everyone, how are you? This is Kenny, the agent/investor. How y'all doing on this lovely day today? As always, I got my little sidekick with me. My baby boy already told you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Do what you have to do. Invite everybody into my YouTube channel, into my world. What is you grabbing? No, you can't have this pen. Get that back. Thank you. Today, we are talking about this family in Georgia. It's actually happening in the state of Georgia as we speak right now. The family name is Bland and Diane Smith. Background story, what made me get into this, for one, I saw this on TikTok. Did not know this was happening. So this has been happening for the last 2 years. No coverage having been put out there like that as far as what they're going through. To sum it up, before I break it down all in my little notes, this family had owned this land for 100 years plus, 100 years or more. And basically this train company called Sandville Railroad Company wants to take partial of their land to expand it for the train or railroad business for public use. This family don't want to do that. So let's break it down. Is it against the law to protect what you have? We want to build generational wealth for our children, but not off the backs of someone else. This is the quote from Diane Smith. Where's out this whole entire story, and I will give you my opinion and my little tangent towards the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. Now back to eminent domain. Of course, I know what it is, but I pulled out my Black's Law Dictionary, 11th edition, that will tell you what the laws means in black and white, because you know there are jargon terms that, of course, none of us don't understand at all, and I'm just being open and honest about it. So let's go and view what eminent domain means. Eminent domain, the inherent power of a governmental entity to take privately owned property, example, land, and convert it to public use, subject to reasonable compensation for the taking. Also rarely termed compulsory purchase in Scots law, compulsory surrender in Australia, compulsory acquisition, and see condemnation and expulsionary taking. The term eminent domain is said to have originated the Gorties, which is spelled Grotius. The 17th century legal scholars Gorties believed that the state possessed the power to take or destroy property for the benefit of the social unit. But he believes that when the state so act, it was obligated to compensate the injury of property owner for his loss. Blackstone, too, believed that society had no general power to take the private property of a landowner except on the payment of a reasonable price. I do apologize, that's my 2 kids playing. The just compensation clause of the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution was built upon this concept of a moral obligation to pay for the governmental interference with the privately property. No provisions for the power of eminent domain appears in the federal constitution. The Supreme Court, however, has said that the power of eminent domain is an incident of federal sovereignty and an offspring of political necessity. The court has also noted that the Fifth Amendment limitations on taking private property is a tacit recognition that the power to take private property exists. Now, eminent domain clause, the Fifth Amendment provision providing that private property cannot be taken for public use without just compensation. See taking clause. Now, taking clause. The Fifth Amendment provision that prohibits the government from taking private property for public use without fairly compensation the owner. Also terms just compensation clause. See eminent domain. To basically sum up what eminent domain means, in layman's term, it means that the government has a right to take property lines if it's beneficial for the public use, as long as the government do a compensation. Now, like I said, I'll tell you what I feel, basically what it means to me. Now, let's move it right along. February 11th, Judge have ruled that a company called Centerville Railroad Company can implement eminent domains. The Black family has had this land for over 100 years. Now, Bland has stated that his ancestors worked as his ancestors had enslaved individuals until it became private property, which his family has owned since the 1920s. 2 years of the fight with Centerville Railroad, an all-white owned business, wants to build a 4.5-mile railroad spiraled through the historical Black neighborhoods in rural Spartan. I know y'all hear her. She's having a grand old time. The company wants to cut through the parts of Bland and his sibling property, 600 acres. The land fed Bland and his siblings for generations, plus it also helped pay for some family members' education as well. Now, with this being said, with it being 600 acres, this is a farmland. So, what I have read in 3 different articles so far, they of course do grow and produce their own food. They also raise their own animals. Really, girl? They also raise their own animals. Not only that, they got a little pond out there or a lake where they fish, and they also do hunting out there. Now, as we speak, the company wants 11 acres from Bland and Diane, 3 parcels, plus 6 acres from his cousin Marvin Smith and 2 acres from his nephew Ahmad Lee, according to the filings with the Georgia Public Service Commission. The railroads would be a few hundred feet away. Sounds a little familiar with this. I hope you know where I'm going at with this. It would disrupt their peace, plus their produce on the land. Also, the family worries that the potential damage to the property from hazardous products that may transport on the tracks and people trespassing. Now, on the flip side, Centerville Railroads have made a statement that no hazard products will be shipped on the line. Centerville Railroad feels this would be a good thing because it serves as a public purpose, because it opens a channel of trade through the East Middle Georgia. The spokesman for the company is very pleased that the judge basically have ruled in their favor. Now, the company do states that they understand that the rich heritage that they regret that May has felt that the initial offer based on an independent appraisal were no adequate, but still wants to work with the family to basically compensate. Now, I will be in here, I don't know where it at around here, how much of the land that they are taking, because I had to ask Google to convert all of that. So watch somewhere around here. Now, this still came from the article. 2023, Turbotin made plans to construct a railroad that spiraled through the connects of Hanson, Cary, Rock Mine, owned by Hildebridge Materials. Now, the train line, the main train line nearby the highway is where they want to connect at. So they want a portion or need a portion of property from 18 owners along Shaw's Road to make it happen. Now, they only requesting for a strip of this land between 2 and 7% of the property owners by various owners. A majority of the 18 landowners already have agreed with Centerville Railroad, the spokesman had said. Get off my paper, lady. Now, with that being said, they tried it where this creates 20 temporary construction jobs, dozens of permanent jobs averaging $90,000 a year in salary and benefits, bringing in over $1.5 million annually to Hancock County. As I was stating, that whereas the medium household is nearly $34,000. Turbot said in the email, if this moves forward, that means the local official hopes that this could attract future businesses and improve economic growth. Now, the black homeowners, as they should, does feel like and do express concerns that this will not only damage their home, it will cause noise pollution and results of the loss of the land. And not only that, that has been passed down for generations. Now, Button moved forward and petitioned that the State Public Service Commission condemn the land from property owners using eminent domain. Now, to wrap it up, the company have stated that when this railroad track is run, it would be only run once a day at least 20 miles per hour to reduce traffic. Not only that, they will try to build like little quarry walls or noise cancellation walls so that way the homeowners will not hear the train at all. Tell me what y'all think about that, because I got my opinions on that one too. So, moving further along, Charles, which is the Superior Court judge, concurred with a commission order last week but halt construction while appeal process. So their attorney, which is the homeowner attorney, basically is trying to come up with another way where it's not eminent domain, because they feel like it's for a private company and is not used for public services at all. And this is what Bland and Diane Smith is going through right now as we speak. I have made a statement on TikTok before, and I know somebody had made a comment and I had a rebuttal. And the comment was, well, it just don't affect just black families. It affects any family that goes through this that don't want to share a property with the government. When government hears property, they try to take it over. This is 100% true. I understand that completely. But I want people to hear me out. When it comes to enslaved people in this land / people that is indigenous to this land, either or the side of the coin that you are on, what most people got to understand is look at Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Charlottesville, Virginia, which is, I did not know this at all up until maybe when my son was 3 or 4 years old. Charlotte, North Carolina, and there's plenty more black towns. Oh, Oscarville, which is, I just found out about Oscarville just a year or 2 years ago. It's plenty of black towns in the United States of America that had their own towns that was dedicated for them, made by them, and everything about them. And the government got mad and either A, bombed these towns, shot up these towns, if we be honest, sat there and did all types of horrendous things to destroy the town, even if it was to regentrification these towns or redlining, which is, I will go through more details of gentrification because I see some of it is happening in the neighborhoods that I had stayed in. Now, with that being said, I can understand and feel where this family is going through, because this is property that you had for hundreds of years that have been passed down. And in my humblest opinion, I feel like the government looked at it as a black, even though this family is predominantly a mixed family, because they said they got black and whites that live there, or that just family, neither here neither there. But I feel like because it is a predominantly black family that owns this land and they have land for themselves, they always, and we could prove it up with different histories. I will do more research on different parts of the United States of America to prove that they always build railroads, they always destroying, they always bombing, they're always doing something to black towns, making it where we don't have nothing no more. Now, if this is for public use for them to build or to bring in wealth, that's fine. But if these companies are just doing it just because they feel like, let's destroy this black town or this black land, then that's just wrong on so many levels. I hope this family do fights back, and I hope they do get to keep their land, and I hope this company finds some other way to build railroads, because I don't think they actually need it. And a little tidbit of why I'm also so passionate about it, because I also had stories in my family of how the way we had land and how the way it was taken from us. even down to my grandfather, which is we do still have land. This is on my father's side of the family, but we still do have land. And my granddad had told me a few years back on his mother's property that has been passed along for generations, that they went on ahead and asked my granddad, like, hey, we need to take some of this road or take some of this land so that way we can span the roadway. My granddad already said, it ain't nothing that I can actually do about it. I can't fight for it how the way I want to, because either way, they still going to steal it anyway, and they still going to take it. I call it the Christopher Columbus of the land. And then, as you already know with me, inserting with Google as far as how much of the land that they taking, that's the whole entire property that is run through with railroads when I put it into Google. The whole entire 600 took over all of 600 acres. Really? And then you're talking about building walls and stuff so that way they won't hear the noise. You don't know how that family land is set up for you to do that. Shout out to Miss Belly Sarian. This is no sponsor or nothing like that, but she have talked about on her platform, I think it was the Dark History on Thursdays, where she was talking about, it was a particular family, which is, we use their products all the time, which is DuPont, had built right beside another family. This is a white family that had a farm, and they couldn't figure out why all their animals was dying or why people was getting sick. And come to find out, it was because the chemicals that DuPont had that was destroying that family land and crop there. I highly suggest that if I can find it, I will put it in the description box, as far as with her video of her going into details, which is she was going through details about the history of DuPont, DuPont, whatever the name of the company, but in the description box. And she was explaining certain things that they was doing. It's too much of a money grab for me. I'm very passionate about it. This is the reason why I did join into the real estate, because I really wanted to understand why companies do what they do, and not only that, why we don't know the jargon terms and jargon words, and what it is about the properties that we own. Now I'm off my tangent, off my spill, because that kind of made me mad when I did my research on that. So I really do hope that this family gets to keep their land and this company figures out something else going with their lives. Off my tangent. But I hope you did enjoy the article that I have presented to you. I will still try to follow this the best way I can. And if you and your family is looking to purchase or to sell a home in the state of Virginia, the 7 cities, of course, I am your girl to hear. I am your girl to help, not here to help. Ooh, can't talk. Anywho, I am Kenita, the agent/investor. You know where to find me and where to Google me. And also, if you just want to be on TikTok just to stroll and looking for some funny videos, I am the girl. I do have a goofy side to me. So it's over here on this platform, it's just all about, I guess I'm kind of cut and dry in a way. But over there, I'm very goofy, very hilarious. So if you want to check that out, I will also put my TikTok information too. And my telephone number is also 757-447-0666. I am your girl. I'm here to help as always. Anywho, I am Kenita, the agent/investor. And y'all have a lovely day. Bye. Proposal moves forward. Local officials hope that this will attract people. Now he's hoping that if... Are you done? Now he's hoping that if this moves forward... Oh, I can't never get a sentence out with you. It ain't funny. Are you done? Now, he's hoping that if they are moved this so that way I can make. Stop. I'm gonna need this so that way I can be able to write down. Snookums. I'm gonna need this so that way I can write it down. Okay, it's not funny. Intimate domain. Yes, I gotta keep saying it over and over again because when I think of intimate domain, I think I discovered this property and now it's mine type thing. Intimate domain. So I'm gonna pull out my handy dandy. I don't know if you can see it. Black's Law Dictionary to break down what is intimate domain. Can you turn that down?
Yeah.
And then you just drift off to the camera. You just drift off away.
Yeah.
Okay, you go ahead, go away. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you. You hear what he said? Like, comment, and subscribe so I get 2 billion comments and followers and whatever else that he was saying. Let's get into the video. Purposes. Fundamental purposes. Brain went fog. Try this again.